Welcome to the Steps in Purpose podcast with Edie Ann. This podcast explores emotional awareness, faith, and purposeful living through short, reflective conversations designed to help you notice where you are and take your next step with clarity. Thanks for being here. Have you ever noticed that your body seems to fall apart after things finally calm down? Like you make it through the hard season, the chaos settles, and then suddenly you're feeling exhausted, hurting, inflamed, or dealing with symptoms that you've never had before. First of all, that's not always random. My name is Edie. I'm your host of this podcast, and I have lived in this. And what I've recognized is that it's survival mode finally letting go. See, survival mode is an emergency setting, and it's brilliant. It gets you through things you never thought you could survive. It helps you function when stopping feels a bit unsafe. It keeps you moving when rest feels like a luxury that you can't afford, right? You feel guilty because you're resting. The problem is survival was never meant to be permanent, right? You think back of caveman days. They had fight or flight so that they could survive and stay safe, but they don't stay in fight or flight. So the problem is that survival was never meant to be permanent. And so when you stay there too long, the body starts to make trades. It reroutes energy to what feels most important in the moment, which is probably staying alert and ready. Everything else moves to the back burner. Your body actually starts borrowing resources. It borrows from sleep so that you can stay aware. It borrows from muscles so that you can stay upright and moving, right? It borrows from hormones so you can keep pushing. It borrows from digestion and immunity so you can stay on guard. All of that works for a while. But when survival goes unrecognized and unnamed, the body keeps using the same strategy long after the danger's passed. That is when pain and illness often show up. That's what happened to me. Right? Your muscles stay tight because relaxing feels a little bit too risky. Over time, that tension can actually turn into chronic pain. It can turn into headaches, joint issues, nerve irritation, and that constant feeling of being wound too tight. You're wound up tighter, right? Inflammation. That rises because the body never fully stands down. That can look like autoimmune flares, widespread aches, swelling, and deep fatigue that sleep never really fixes. Digestion slows because energy keeps getting diverted somewhere else. Right? Nutrients do not absorb well. Blood sugar gets higher to regulate. You feel crashes that come out of nowhere. The immune system stays activated. Eventually, it stops being selective and starts reacting to things it never needed to before, right? Autoimmune issues are your body fighting against itself. So think about that, right? It's using resources. This is where people start saying the body is turning on itself. Okay, so here's the reframe. Your body is not attacking you, right? It's protecting you, or it's trying to. It just never got the message that it was allowed to stand down. Right? Survival teaches the nervous system that danger is ongoing. Even when life looks calmer on the outside, the body keeps running the same program on the inside. That is why people feel stuck, right? They treat symptoms without realizing the source is deeper than the symptom itself. Pain becomes communication. Illness becomes a signal. I am sure if you've been in this state, you've heard your doctor say to you before, do you suffer from stress? Right? Because stress is survival mode. Right? Your body is basically saying, I've carried you for as far as I can like this. Recognizing survival is everything, because you cannot heal what you do not name. When survival stays invisible, people blame themselves. They feel broken. They get frustrated with bodies that seem uncooperative. Nothing about this is failure. This is your body adapting. Healing doesn't start with fixing your body, okay? It starts with teaching it safety again. That happens slowly and gently, not through force or pressure. It looks like breathing deeper without rushing it. It looks like unclenching your jaw when you notice it. It looks like resting without explaining yourself. It looks like listening to pain instead of fighting it. Please, if you get one thing from this podcast, give yourself grace. These small moments send a powerful message to the nervous system. You and me, we have resources now. We don't have to live like everything is on fire, but it's a choice. You need to make that choice, right? So as safety increases, the body slowly releases its grip. Energy begins to move back toward repair. Systems start to rebalance. Pain often softens. Not because you forced it to, but because the body finally feels supported. Now, I also want to say that not all of our pain, not all of our diseases, not all of our illnesses are stemmed from being in survival mode. Sometimes it's genetic, right? And when you have those feelings, it makes it very difficult to move through them. And I understand that, and I do want to recognize that, okay? If pain or illness has been part of your story, this is a reminder that your body has been loyal to you. It's not broken. It learned how to survive through it all, right? And now it's just learning how to live. Today, I want you to notice just one symptom your body uses to get your attention. Sit with it for a moment, okay? Breathe into it. Thank it for trying to protect you. If you want more guidance through recognizing survival and understanding what comes next, the Steps in Purpose books walk through each emotional level with clarity and compassion. I wrote them that way. The course is also there when the timing feels right for you. I think just by being here, you are already shifting. Thanks for spending this time with me. Until next time, keep stepping in purpose.